Good evening and welcome to Monday Night here on DJNTV. I'm John Young, your host tonight, and in case you forgot, for some of you, you have a short-term memory. And the gentleman to my right, hey, I got it right, I'm pointing in the right direction, is the one and only Casey Korkoruz from the lovely city of Chicago. Good evening, Casey.
What's up, Mr. Young? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining tonight.
Thanks. You told me that you had nobody else who was willing to come on the show, so I was able to pinch hit.
Yeah, I was like, hey, everyone else is, got a life.
I know. I don't, sadly. I really don't.
Well, let's just go for it. So, Casey, tonight what I want to do is I want to kind of hit the different shows. There's, you had the first show post-COVID.
I had the second show, technically.
Oh, that's right.
Midwest DJs Live was the first show. So
you had the second show. But now that we've moved beyond that, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts and get a kind of a rundown of what happened at the show. And then we'll look at some of the upcoming shows if you have never gone to one or you've always wanted to check one out or you'd like, it's time to get back into it. We're going to cover some of the shows that are going to be coming up here in the next few months. So,
gotcha.
So Casey, let's kind of dig into it. A few months before the show, Illinois kind of started to open things up a little bit.
Right.
So
let's get back a little bit further,
okay,
because Wisconsin opened up before us, which was great news for the people at Midwest DJs Live. And I went to help Drax out so he wouldn't have to travel for American DJ Association. And truthfully, I was using their show as the guinea pig just to see how people would react. And during those times, there wasn't quite as many vaccines quite available. Like, I had my first shot. I hadn't had my second shot yet. The hotel was telling people they're supposed to wear masks. So some people had them on, some people didn't have them on. But what was the most important thing was people were so excited to see each other that it started to feel very quasi-normal, like it was back to normal.
Okay.
That was the very last day of April, like first 2 days of May or something like that. So then fast forward about 6 weeks later, about June 1st, the governor had said, we're opening everything up. And even now, the rules in Illinois technically are, if you are vaccinated, you are free to walk about the cabin. And if you are not vaccinated, that they have asked everybody out of safety to wear your mask. And a lot of states are following that. So I would say 99% of the people at the Marquee show were vaccinated, or at least had claimed to be, because there were very few masks. Anybody that did wear a mask was not shunned or anything. Everybody was super cool with everybody. And I have to tell you, John, like, it just felt great.
Nice.
I mean, it really felt like a giant DJ reunion. People were excited. We had unbelievable weather that agreed with us the whole week. I mean, it was all like 70s and beautiful. And so the hotel even had a courtyard that every night people were smoking cigars or other paraphernalia out there and drinking beers and bourbon and just having a really, really good time. The only challenges that I think we're still going to see for the rest of this year even is our hotel, and I know that Midwest DJs Live Hotel, well, Midwest DJs Live, unbeknownst to them up until 2 days before, went under renovation. So their entire first floor all of a sudden was just gone. And so they were shorthanded in general. Our hotel was shorthanded as well. So we didn't have quite the amenities that people were used to. We didn't have a breakfast buffet, and the hotel didn't do the best job of letting you know that if you went to the Starbucks, there was a menu there. They could make you anything you wanted, like in a restaurant. It just wasn't the best executed. But again, as things are opening up, you kind of you take the good with the bad, and by and large, I think that everybody was cool with stuff. A couple of the people I talked to said it took them a couple of calls to get towels and things along those lines. They didn't have daily laundering services, which they did tell you when you got in. And these are the things, quite frankly, I think we're going to see this at ARM DJs. We're going to see this at Expo. We might even see this all the way into November. With some of the hotels in Vegas. Yeah. Because I think that it's going to be a crawl to a walk to a run to a sprint. And so I think that people, when you're going to these things, don't expect we're fully back, because I just think we've heard about all the shortages of help all over the country. And I think the hotel industry is hurting just as much as everybody else is.
Yeah, we're definitely even seeing that in Minnesota from the standpoint. Typically, that industry is bringing in folks from other countries to come in and work in those areas. And they're not only not getting some of the college kids coming back for the summer to help out, they're not getting some of their folks coming in on green cards. So we have...
The biggest thing I'll say this, though, is everyone's always excited to see each other year after year after year after year. This year, however, felt very different. Our mutual friends are at Think Tank this year, and from the little bit I've seen on social media and from even talking to one or two of them, they said they're just so excited to see each other right now that it's just, it's just great to be out and about. I think that we're just celebrating our ability to be normal again, quite frankly.
There we go. Just had to get that set up. So thank you guys for being with us tonight here on Facebook. We're going to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, thanks for joining us. Casey, for those who have never heard of the Marquee Show, we talked about a little bit, some of the things that had gone on. But give us the overview look of what the Marquee Show was or is for those who might want to look into next year's show.
Well, I'm convinced if you haven't heard of the Marquee Show, you just don't have an email address, because I am known for spamming people, and I am known for scraping to the point where I can find the AOL account that you had when you were in high school. But we had a really great show. I mean, we had really great presenters. The parties were a lot of fun. They weren't your typical DJ night 1, DJ night 2, DJ night 3. So we did a karaoke party the first night with Chad Blackburn, and it was incredibly well received. We had some great singers go up and have some fun. Chad Blackburn, honestly, if I have him speak or if he speaks at a show on karaoke, as much as a lot of people who are watching this roll their eyes like, oh God, he's unbelievable. He is just completely revolutionized karaoke, and it helped that he had a lot of type A personalities that wanted to sing and have fun. But let me tell you, he really made karaoke exciting. It wasn't the typical, and then put your hands together for John Young. Coming up next is Casey singing Living on a Prayer. Come on up, Casey. It was nothing like that. It was actually really great. I think we scared the hell out of the pizzeria that we went to, because it was just absolute chaos from the minute we walked through the door to the minute that we left. Tuesday night we did a dueling pianos, and we called it a Taste of Chicago. We brought in the deep dish pizza that people always ask about when they're touristy here. We had Chicago style hot dogs available for people, Italian beef sandwiches. It went over really, really well. We had a couple of acoustic issues, which the evaluations did let me know that, and so we're aware of it. But by and large, people they had a great time. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just really, really, really a great time. And we raised $1,000 that night for charity, which was awesome too.
Nice.
So that worked out well. And then Wednesday night we had we were at a club just having a good time, and the DJs all did a really great job. And if you've never seen DJ Qbert mix or scratch, it's like watching like Jabberwocky's, hip hop dance group. I mean, he's just insane on a pair of turntables. I mean, I've seen a lot of really talented people, but he really is like Michael Jackson and Prince that took it to a totally different level. And he is by far the nicest guy in the world. I had dinner with him and some other people the next night as the show wound down. And he is just such an incredibly talented and, most importantly, nice person. So he's already told me he'll be back next year, and I'm super excited about having him back. And he wants to help bring in some other talent. So that part was great. We had incredible speakers: Mike Walter, Brian Bonacici, Alan Berg, Nick Spinelli, who only managed to use the F-bomb like 15 times. We had just a lot of everything. We tried a few seminars that aren't your typical. Harry Legg talked about voiceover. Dana Solomon crushed it for her first seminar. I'm so incredibly proud of the job she did. She was prepared right, dressed right, slides were great, really gave all of the information. Just the topic itself wasn't quite as appealing to people as I had hoped it would be, because it's either you were interested, and if you really weren't interested in being a cruise ship DJ, you just totally cut out. But I felt it was a great show, and our surveys had something like a 96% of the people surveyed said they would be back next year. Nice. Which was super promising. So I'm supposed to meet with the hotel tomorrow to sign the contract for 2022. We're going to be doubling the amount of space we have, going into a bigger hotel. Instead of being 20 minutes north of O'Hare Airport, we're going to be 20 minutes northwest of it in a town called Schaumburg. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot more amenities for people. The hotel has both an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. So it's got a lot of nice things for people that are going to bring their families or what have you. So we're super pumped. It's going to continue to grow and prosper. Excellent.
And of course, the show, you've mentioned a variety of names that were that would appeal to the mobile DJ. You mentioned some things for the people who are doing karaoke, as well as some people who, if they're more of the club, there were things in there for them also.
Sure.
So you really covered the bases.
Yeah, and DJ Flipside was out, DJ Speed was out. We had the Bulls DJs, the Cubs DJs, the Bears, or the White Sox DJs, the Blackhawks DJs were out there. The WNBA teams DJs were out there. Like, we had a lot of Chicago royalty in the house, including DJ Casper, Mr. Cha-Cha Slide himself.
I saw him there. That was good.
Yeah.
Good to hear him on the microphone there, doing some things with you.
Sure. We even had the local news crew come out for 3 hours doing their around town and their sports segment. So yeah, if you hit our YouTube channel, you can see the recap video that the guys from LaForce did, and Tom did a really beautiful job on it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So for people, if they want to check it out, the link is
marqueeshow.com. And if you want to just get to know us, I'm going to recommend you join the Marquee Show community group page on Facebook, where we're constantly chatting about DJ and photo booth without any drama. It is a totally drama-free group page. So it's really a nice thing.
Oh, I don't have that link handy.
You don't have it handy, John. You're so unprepared.
I know.
I came on here. I promised you I would save the network. There's got to be 6 people watching right now. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. You're not even broadcasting in the Marquee Show community, I don't think.
Yeah, I am.
Are you in the Marquee Show community?
Yeah, yep, it should be going there. For those of you who are on the other channels, the link for the Marquee Show community on Facebook is there.
Are you sure you're on here? I'm looking at it now. I don't see you in here.
Yep, both of them were.
Do you know how to use this stuff? I'm starting to wonder.
Yeah, exactly. I'm my first day in the office.
Here we go. And if you actually want to see the seminars, you can join the DJNTV Insiders group, and you can actually see the seminars that happened.
Yeah, so, we've got that. So for the folks who had the virtual tickets, they've all jumped in there, so they can take a look at and have access to it. And it gives them some continuing education for some of the seminars that people missed, because they were there really, really quite well, but that's 3 days. So sometimes you have to step away. So let's keep going. We got a few more shows that are going to be coming up here. Our next one on the schedule is coming up here at the beginning of August 2nd through the 5th in where's Arms DJ? Where's Robbie at? He's in Greensville.
He's in Greenville, Tennessee. 3 days of education and networking. And it looks he's got a link on his Arm DJ's page for the passes. Otherwise, it's like armdjs.eventbrite. All kinds of other gibberish. So armdjs.com. It'll it's clearly found, so you can get your tickets for it. And from what I'm told, this is also a huge reunion. Like a lot of DJs from that Southeast corridor come out. I've never attended. Have you been there?
I have not. It's usually in June, and that's been the time where we've done family things. So it's something I have not hit.
But September would be a good month for a DJ show, don't you think? It would be such a
great time, because people can just go in that nice, cool.
You could have like 6 people out there.
It would be fabulous, fabulous.
Huge.
The link is down in the chat. You guys can jump in there and check that out. Again, Greenville coming up. Some of the speakers that Robbie's got scheduled. You've got Peter Mary coming in, Rob Foray, Jason Jani, Scott Favor, Mark.
I'm gonna guess it's Pizzella.
Pizzella.
I'm not familiar. Yeah,
Stacey
I don't know.
Carroll, Stan Sauer, Justin Reed, and Aaron Trailer. In there, that's their lineup so far, and they've got kind of an outline of who's going to be speaking. And one that Aaron Trailer, if you guys have not heard, we'll be talking about Aaron and Joe Bunn here in just a little bit, but they're going to be running a kind of a trial of their live hackathon. So for those of you who have heard of their crate hackers and some of the things they're doing with that should be kind of an interesting and fun thing that they're going to be doing on the eastern side of the country as opposed to Vegas in February.
Right, or the Midwest in April, May/June. So, and then of course September in Minnesota.
Oh, September
right?
would be.
Do you want to make the announcement?
So great.
For those of you who know, John's inviting everybody to a campsite, and he's at his house. He's gonna. If you have a tent, you can show up at his house in September, and he'll talk DJ with you.
Great. It'll be great. We're gonna look at
My new
favorite sound system.
You get a behind-the-scenes tour of the broadcast facility known as Disc Jockey News.
It'll be like, there's my Huey Lewis album, there's other albums, and that's pretty much it.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much the tour.
Okay.
I still got that lag going on. I'm not happy. I might have to reset my camera. So yeah, that's coming up. Links down in the description below. Casey, let's jump to following it up the next week over at DJ Expo.
We have DJ Expo.
Yeah, pull that up, and I'm going to reset my camera here.
I think DJ Expo is like their 99th year, but I'm excited about going because I've missed seeing all of my DJ brother and sisters from the East Coast. So it'll be good to have lousy service in Atlantic City, which is no reflection of DJ Expo. It just is about Atlantic City, where you have a choice of 2 types of service: 1, lousy; 2, none. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty. And I wonder how that lousy service, that was lousy service back before the whole COVID situation. So
right.
Yeah.
And the nice part is they give you a side order of attitude with it, which is even better.
Yeah, just a great. Yeah.
So, again, but no, it's a well-known thing. Even Jersey people know that Atlantic City's service is not the greatest. But I, for one, am super pumped. They have not come out right yet. Most of the posts that I've seen on Facebook where people are asking for an agenda, they keep responding that it'll be out shortly. I know, and you know from having mutual friends, I know Adam Weitz is talking. And I think he said he's doing something on mitzvahs. So I don't know if he's doing performance because Adam Hirschhorn is doing something about marketing mitzvahs.
Mm-hmm.
I know Big Daddy's going to be up there doing something, I think, with Jordan Marshall because they are Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, to which nobody will understand that reference that's watching this.
Exactly. That's an old reference. Scott, you probably get that reference, but a lot of the younger kids don't.
Rachel and Ross, maybe better. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go.
So, so those two, I think I saw Jordan St. Jacques from Canada is coming down, and Stacy Nichols is coming up from Mexico. And I know that Dave Lander, I believe, is giving the same seminar on programming that he gave at our show, which was great. Mike Walter, I know, is giving the same seminar on programming which was at our show, which was great. I don't know who is Rob Peters speaking.
I thought Rob was, but I'm not seeing him on the schedule. But I think Rob had shared that he was going to be presenting something.
I couldn't tell if I got that confused with the announcement that Mex has been presented.
I thought I had heard that from him, but maybe it might have been our confusion with the Mex event. And
but I'm excited about being back on the boardwalk and being at the old Taj property. And you and I had dinner there. Was it 2 years ago that we went to White House Subs just to check out?
Yeah, yep. The other,
and it's beautiful. They did an unbelievable job redoing that place.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. Considering 2 years before that we were being yelled at by picketers for staying there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that because they were.
So
Howie just mentioned in the chat room there. Thanks, Howie. That Jay must have mentioned on the Tuesday show that he'll be doing a seminar for Pioneer at DJ Expo.
Oh well, that means we know the Pioneer will be there too.
Yeah,
we were just talking. We know Chauvet is going to be there. We know our friends from Mac's photo booth are going to be there. I don't know from there though. I don't know specifically. Oh, Joe Bunn's going to be there with his Bunn DJ gear and probably Crate Hackers, because I think I saw that they were going to be there as well. But I don't know. I would tell everybody to be prepared for a smaller show floor because I know from talking with manufacturers, as of you, there's still a lot of people that are on travel restrictions. They're taking it easy, seeing what kind of outbursts COVID's going to have, and so don't be shocked if you don't have crazy huge boosts like they've had before. I know that Promo Only won't be there this year. ADJA won't be there. Last I talked, Blizzard will not be there. So there's going to be a lot of people not there for one reason or another. But just take a breath and know that it's certainly not from a lack of trying. I know from talking with these manufacturers, they've got a ton of challenges with bringing parts into the country and releasing new products and trying to stay ahead of the game, just like we all are. So if this isn't the huge expo floor that it has been in the past, it's certainly not from a lack of trying. So.
And I think this with this year's show, and again, it's the idea of a family reunion. You mentioned how it was just so great to get everyone together with the Marquee show. I think that's the idea to go into it. If you're expecting what you saw in the past, I think you're going to be disappointed. It's kind of like that movie you hear everyone talk about. This is going to be the greatest movie ever. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see it. Your expectations were way up here. And then you go and it was a good movie, but because your expectations were so high, it couldn't live up to it. And I think that's, if you're going to judge this year's show on past year's show when it comes to many aspects of it, there may be that disappointment. But if you go in there to see friends and just to be there and be together again, I think that's going to be.
And I would tell people to have a backup plan that you should have anyway, which is figure out who you want to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with, and set those dates and times like going into the show, so that by no means is this a reflection on any show producer, but I used to do that going into DJ Expo and Mobile Beat, just because we know how valuable those conversations are in the hallways and over lunches and dinners. Mm-hmm. So the more that you can set up who you want to have dinner with or breakfast with and get those invites out and commitments out before you even get there, you'll find all of a sudden that you're having dinner with John Doe, and then John Smith wants to come and John Doherty wants to come, and all of a sudden it's an even bigger, more intense conversation, which is always, a fabulous byproduct of every trade show, regardless of the industry even.
Yes, certainly.
So
let's see. Did I put the link up for that? I think I did. Yeah, the DJExpo.com will take you out there, and you can follow the links to see some of the latest announcements and such from the show. For those of you who are out there right now and you're looking at the exhibitor area, DJ Expo typically leaves last time's exhibitors up until after the show. So you are not going to see much of anything for exhibitors until the show. It's not because of anything different than past. That's just how they've operated. Seminars, and speakers will be up, and parties will be up in the next couple of days, I'm guessing, for surely. And
I know that they're doing, I think DJNTV's got a little party going on, don't they?
Yep, the guys are putting together a get-together on Tuesday night, and there's Howie, what's the name of the name of the place? If you please put that in the chat. But Howie,
this is the one where you're giving everyone your credit card for an open bar.
Yes, this is strippers. Exactly that. Yes, because that goes
that's
over
what I like.
So well.
You're just a giver. You're just a giver, John.
The place that they found is like right across the parking lot from the Irish pub where we have been for the last number of years. The problem is on Tuesday nights, the Irish pub is just not big enough.
Interesting fact about the Irish pub. If you ever ate or drank at the Irish pub, you were immune to COVID. It's true. It is true. I mean, because if you didn't get COVID there, you would have gotten something there.
Yeah, if you didn't get something. If you guys have never been to the Irish pub, and it's one of those things you just have to do at some point in time. And my wife just absolutely hates going there. She does. Everything's great except when you go to use the facilities.
Right.
This is where she learned the whole hover method.
Hover? Sure.
Yeah. So.
I would think she hovered after she even covered the toilet seat with toilet paper and such.
She's told me some of the stories coming out there. It's like, and that was the women's bathroom? That sounds like something guys do.
Right.
Bourré, Bourre. Sounds like Bourré. I think Bourré is the place. How he's told me about that. Probably mentioned the name a dozen times, but
that's actually Irish. It's the dirtier bar is what it means. So okay. Yeah, so Irish pub is the cleaner of the two.
And then the Bourré is right.
I'm just kidding. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, but they've got a stage there. They've got kind of a little area for performance, so it's going to be a little more space for everyone. Good and they've got some food specials going on and some drink specials that Howie's been able to put together. So it should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
You're getting some information on. But that's Tuesday night. You'll be able to get more info as we get
closer.
And
then I know there's no DJ of the year this year. They've pulled that.
But it sounds like they're still doing some evening activities.
They're doing something, and I know that Jerry Bazzata has at least part of Monday night because they're doing an all vinyl spinoff or an all vinyl takeover or something.
Something to that effect,
because it's no digital, no anything. It's just a set of 1200s and whatever vinyl collection you're bringing. So if you want to ruin it, just go over and bump the tables, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that'll make you popular. Somebody has vinyl that they can't replace anymore.
Just start pitching pennies up at the turntables.
Yeah,
ching, 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 ching.
Yeah,
it's funny that I just brought that up. 2 years ago, I saw Z-Trip speak, right? And he's an incredibly great DJ and an incredibly great guy. And he was opening for, I think it was Blink 182. And he started out like everybody, like DJing a block party, DJing a frat house, DJing an off night at a bar. And he goes, so I know what it's like to have DJ'd in front of like 4 people. And he goes, and now he said, I'm DJing in front of like 50,000 people. And he said, and my adrenaline is just going, and I'm going, and I'm going. And he goes, and wouldn't you know it, somebody tossed a penny up and it hit my turntable just right. So in front of 50,000 people, the tone arm just goes ping, 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 ping across, and it's just dead air. And he goes, you don't know what it's like to be booed until you've been booed by 50,000 people as you're opening for Blink 182. So a great story that I saw at DJ Expo.
And there's somebody out in the crowd. It's like, I did it! Woo!
I just ruined the party! Yeah! Bring on Blink 182!
Oh, man. All right, let's keep going. We got 2 more shows to hit, and I want to get wrapped up here in just a little bit. We get into November now with the Wedding MBA show, which bills itself It used to be just the wedding MBA is what the main billing was, but now they send out the postcards for a DJ show. And
Right. Well, on Mondays they do specialty tracks from 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and so they have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4, I think. And I think Dave Lander is speaking this year there as well. I forgot who else is speaking on the DJ track.
Well, I've got him right here.
Okay.
Artem
Fireman.
Lomas is speaking.
Okay.
Mike Walter.
Got it.
DJ Happa.
Right.
Chris Washburn.
Okay.
And Stacy Nichols will be there, and Dan Quinn are the ones that they have under.
Okay, then maybe I'm wrong. So I could have sworn maybe he's DJing it. I don't know. I could have sworn that he was out there. I'm not 100% certain.
And they could be under one of the other, because there's the wedding specialties, and the different areas. They've got wedding venue seminars, catering and cake seminars, wedding florist, officiant, gown and tuxedo, photographer, disc jockey, and planner. So it's possible that somebody might be fitting into a couple of different categories.
Right. I'm actually, for the first time in my life, planning on flying out the Friday before and actually spending a weekend in Vegas with a friend of mine, and then being in Vegas when the show starts, not like flying in and running. So I know a lot of people have done this. I've never done this before. So I'll be there for almost a week if these plans all happen. So I'm actually pretty excited. And November's a great time of year. It's like 70-ish degrees. It's very San Diego weatherish. It's a little bit too cold to go into the pool, but it's definitely warm enough to lay by the pool still. You don't need a coat at night generally. Maybe the ladies do, but it's just a really nice time of year.
Yeah, that's certainly one of my favorite times is in November. I don't think they'll have it decorated for the holidays, but generally by that third week of November, the week before Thanksgiving, Vegas at that time of the year when it's all decked out for the holidays is kind of a neat place to be.
I know that the strippers have a hard time with the Christmas lights on the pole. It chafes their thighs.
There is that.
No.
I
thought it came to me.
There. Sometimes
nothing.
Sometimes there's things that the ideas that
Mistletoe?
start here, and they should probably stay there.
In your head, I agree.
That might be
me. However, I'm filled with great ideas.
Okay, so that Wedding MBA, that's out at Wedding MBA. I should put the link in the chat.
And those are the specialty tracks on Mondays. This show also has really terrific people speaking throughout the week on sales, marketing, social media, event design. One of their big headliners is David Tutera, speaks on, I think, Thursday, generally the last day. And he's always great to listen to. And then it's Vegas, so you can always have a good time there. I've not heard if the Wedding Wire or the Wedding Pro people, Wedding Wire / The Knot, are throwing one of their fabulous parties, but that's definitely a party you want to go to if you can, because it's usually an ungodly amount of hours of open bar, and it's always a good time. So, and if you guys not that it's hard to get alcohol in Vegas.
No, typically
I've heard
not. I've only been watching what I see on the streets.
I hear you.
But yeah. As you go into there's the specialty classes, and then there's under the business. There's things that fit into the DJ realm, and that's where we're seeing some of those. Some of our DJ friends are speaking.
Yeah.
So they're under that category. So yeah, there's a lot of content there. You can go out to weddingmba.com, check that out. Coming up November 8th through the 10th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Gosh, it's so great that that's back open. Yeah, definitely missed.
And then who's our last show?
Last show, we're actually going to be jumping into 2022 to kick off the year. And
so we're skipping DJ Collective. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, the DJ Collective.
That's true. It's the week after Wedding MBA, and it is sold out. So if you were interested in going, you'd have to be put on a waiting list. It's $2,000 to attend, so it is not an inexpensive show. And they're going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, I think. They're in Arizona. I'm not exactly sure of the city. But that show is put on, that conference is put on by Brian Bonacisi, Joe Bunn, and Jason Jani. So
it took me a while to find the URL.
It's DJ Collective Official, I think.
The DJ Collective Official.
Got it. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one. It's a little bit more difficult because, as you say, it's sold out, and it's sold out very, very quickly.
Very early. Yeah.
So
and then they have a waiting list, and they have a payment plan. So as people have chosen to opt out for one reason, personal reason or another, then the waiting list comes up, or if people have that incredible last minute booking or whatever. So that's it. So you can get on the waiting list and kind of go from there. But that's always some cutting edge education. And then
one thing to give you guys an idea. The collective was sold out. They posted on March 4th that the collective was sold out already, and I think it was only announced maybe a month or two ahead of that. It wasn't.
And they announced it to their immediate past group, and then the people before that, and then they open it up to the public. So, and I know that Brian said that next year their goal is to find a venue that can do 150 people, but 100 people sold out the property. So it was that fast.
Wow.
Yeah, sponsored by, I think, NLFX, EV, Pioneer, and I think DMS. So then we get a little break for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then like third week of February, we go back to Vegas again for the MEC show.
Which is the Mobile Entertainment Expo, which is, for those of you who have followed the Photo Booth Expo, the group that has put the Photo Booth Expo together is now offering a DJ track. So you have the photo booth track and you have a DJ track all in the same area there. So you can, if you buy the proper ticket, which is the MEX DJ track one, that means you can bounce back and forth, check everything out.
It's $100 more than the photo booth track, I guess, but it allows you access to the education on both sides, whereas if you're a PBX person, you only get the PBX education and show floor and the parties. So you don't get the opportunity to go into the DJ side of it, to the DJ education side of it.
Let's see, I'm going to grab the URL here. And that's coming up. What were the dates? February?
I think it's like the third week of February.
Yeah. And this all happens out at the South Point Casino.
Which is pretty much an all-inclusive kind of property. If you go there, there's a very good chance you're not going to leave the property.
Yeah. There's not a ton of need to. February 21st, it's a Monday through Thursday, the 21st through the 24th. Mentioning the not leaving the property, there's Shake Shack, there's food options there. There's the nice little stores to grab if you needed to grab a soda or water. There's bowling alley. Bowling alley's probably got
movie
some
theater.
better food in the place. Movie theater has to-go pizzas, but that bowling alley food was absolutely quick and easy to do. If you do want to step outside to go to a McDonald's, some people do, literally across the street is the McDonald's that you can go to, and if you need to, just a few more steps is a gas station, an AM/PM or whatever they are. There's a gas station there if you want to go buy yourself a gas station bottle of water or a gas station hot dog.
So if you've never been to a McDonald's before, ever. You want to check it out in Vegas.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
I never left the casino last time, ever. I actually saw Bad Boys Part 3 there because I'd really been wanting to see it, and I'd been on the show floor all day, so I was tired, and it was just a night to relax. So that was that.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, they do a good job, and their breakfast buffet is insane, and it's like uber cheap.
Yeah, if you get that little coupon book.
Uber cheap. They give you a coupon book with all kinds of discounts to get you to stay. And I think the breakfast buffet was like $6. I mean, I think if you not do that and go to Starbucks inside of there, you're paying more money.
Oh, easily.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, easily. That's your best way to kick off the day, and then hit the seminars and the exhibit hall, because this is going to be one of the largest exhibit halls in the industry for the year as a photo booth and the DJ. By that time, we're hoping that the restrictions that some of the companies are under, the gear will be out there. All these things will be in a positive state so that we'll be ready to go for a bigger 2022.
Yeah, I'll be speaking. What? Woo. So you guys know when to take your lunch break, when I go on.
Right when you go on.
And Marky will be exhibiting. And I know our friends from Promo Only will be there. I saw Pioneer has a 20x20 booth. So our friends from Max Photo Booth I know are going to be there too. And the photo booth exhibit floor is just ginormous.
Crazy.
I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a Costco. I mean, he's he does an incredible job with it, and I have no doubt that he's going to do a very solid job with the DJ side, and it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow as he does it. And if you had a pass for the 2020 Mobile Beats, you already have a pass for the Mech show.
Yeah.
So if you've been sitting on it and you thought you got burned or whatever it is, or if you know somebody that has it, you can buy it from them or what have you. But I think he's got like 480 people that had passes for that show that he is transferring them over. So you could probably reach them on their website and they'll tell you exactly how that process works. So he's really doing right by everybody that was affected by COVID. So
yeah, I'm sharing the link to the group. There's a Facebook group also.
Okay.
That way you guys can go out there and join that, because that's where Rob, the head man with the Photo Booth Expo and the Mex show, Rob puts the latest information and such up on that page, so you guys can check it out. So join that group and become part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, then we'll be getting started over with the shows for 2022 with Midwest DJs Live, Marquee Show, and continuing right on through. So.
Yeah, and Midwest DJs Live will have a whole new board of directors, so it'll be interesting to see what they choose to do. I'm actually going to go to their website now to see if they've announced who their board is officially yet. Midwest DJs Live, because I know that they had elections, but I don't know if they've even. Nope, they don't. Well, they've got an about page, but it doesn't. Meet the board members. Let's see. Nope, they still have last year's board members. So, but yeah, that in fact, let's see, 2022. Their show is April. It's April 24th, 25th, 26th, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that towards the end of.
Yeah. April 24th, 25th, 26th in Milwaukee, the fine town of Milwaukee. So, and I know that you've been to a million shows. I've been to a million shows. I still believe in them. I know that, yes, you can get great education by watching DJNTV and a lot of people on YouTube and podcasts and that, but I still believe that the see it, feel it, touch it, the people that you meet in the hallways, that might be doing something similar to what you're doing, but seeing it from a different vantage point really gives you some perspective on how to market things, how to produce things, and so it's just one of those things where I know there are some DJs that have said I've been in business for 700 years and I've never had to go to one. It's not about never having to go to one. It's a matter of wanting to free your mind and be open to the possibilities of doing things. Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways of doing things. And I say this all the time, like 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. So does 2 + 2. So does 1 + 3. So does 3 + 1. So does 5 - 1. Like, there's a lot of ways to get there. Mm-hmm. But you know what? If you've been doing it 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 the whole time, somebody may show you a better way of doing it that's going to yield you much better results. And there's no question that there's an ungodly amount of information on there, on the internet and in these group pages and such, but actually rubbing elbows and talking to people, to me, I think it's just so important.
I think the part that I missed the most with the Zoom is there's no eye contact. And I mean, being in the same room with someone and being able to engage that way is big. But there isn't that ability to read body language or to pick up. This is pretty good at picking up some influence or little nuances to the conversation, but you miss so much. And if there was anything that really showed that, is that going and meeting some new folks last week, it face to face, it's just a different world than it is over video.
Just having lunch,
Yeah.
And if you have the opportunity to meet drunk Quayne at any of the shows, that makes the trip well worthwhile.
There is that.
So, but no, there's so many great times. And I mean, I had such a good time even at Marquee. After the Tuesday night was over, we were sitting in the courtyard of the hotel drinking beers and just talking. And I mean, it really just felt good to be talking to people again and just being out and about. It was fun. And you could tell people were really in the zone.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to say one thing about Marquee this year, it was fun. People had a great time. And yeah, they learned as well. But like, if you look at the pictures in our gallery at marqueeshow.com, you'll see people are just, their smiles are genuine. It's not a lot of goofy DJ poses. There's some of it, but it's definitely just, you can tell people are just super excited to be there.
Just happy to be together again.
Yeah. So, and you know what else this week? This is like a crazy week too for shows, because semi in our business, but not. The Engage Summit is actually this week, and that's down at the Breakers in Florida. And then the special event starts this week too in Miami, which is just about every asset of the special event industry. Our friend Jeff Green is down there working with the people from Spot My Photos that captured all the really cool pictures at our show. And Mike Ursulbelli's Hot List is there, and just, all kinds of stuff's there. And so there's those shows that are definitely similar to like a wedding MBA that give you a great special event education, but not necessarily solely DJ. So, and again, Event Summit isn't one of those like $2,000 price tags. It's not an inexpensive thing to go to. David Tutera also offers like his David Tutera experience if you were looking to go to the next level, or perhaps take your DJ company into an event planning level. That might be something you may want to consider too.
Yeah, so, definitely a lot of options, and they're coming back. More shows for 2022. So, Casey,
so the question is, what show are we going to see you at, John? What show do you think you're going to make it out to?
It will probably be 2022 before I hit a show, because I think we've got our budgeting set up for hitting some next year. So, looking forward.
Very good.
Casey, we got to bounce. Thank you much for being on tonight, and thank you
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you guys for being with us tonight on the different channels. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, reset, and MJ, Dan, and I will be back again on the same different, all the different channels and such. Well, there's going to be a couple we may need to shut off, but otherwise, we'll be back again here in just a few minutes with our second show tonight, kind of going through a recap of what we've been missing the last few weeks and talking about music and playing to those different people in the audience. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Thanks again. Bye-bye.